What's up, ladies and gentlemen? I'm JD, and this is Grim Info. So today I want to talk a little bit about a couple different topics. Russia being one, and two being the beef between H.G. Wells and Hitler. And you're probably thinking, wow, I wonder what the connection is between that outside of Hitler wanting to kill H.G. Wells. Well, here, let me break it down for you. If this doesn't get you to understand what the globalists are and what their true goal happens to be. So, the eugenicists have been around for a very long time. They're the ones that put up the Georgia Guidestones. They're the ones that believe that, the world should only have 500 or less million people on the planet at any given time. They will always use social situations to say that you need them. Always. That's why they've always used this. They've always used social welfare as their way of getting in and being able to try to take control of people that they want to have control over. That's the reason why there's so many restrictions on people who get public funding and get public, food stamps and things. That's the reason why their lives are basically an open book to these people. You give them control, or they give you something, they take control. That's what they've always wanted. So let's break it down. Very simply and very fast. So Hitler, he believed in Aryan supremacy. Okay. So he believed in pretty much killing anyone that wasn't white. Okay. He didn't really have much tolerance for anybody. His main beef was with the Jews. To be honest, if he wouldn't have focused all of his mayhem and slaughter on the Jews towards the end of the world and focusing his resource to killing Jews, we would have probably all be speaking German right now. And a lot of us probably wouldn't even be here. So that being said, he wanted H.G. Wells dead because H.G. Wells belonged to the same people that created Hitler. The Kissingers, the Rockefellers, the IMF Bank, these people. They except for the difference is that Kissinger, H.G. Wells, believed in killing everyone equally. He did not see any use to having anyone that was not basically his equal. And in the 1930s, he did a radio show for San Antonio or San Francisco, and it is archived. You have to dig to find it, but it is out there. And in this radio interview, H.G. Wells talks about depopulating the planet. This is in the 1930s. So if you don't believe that this is a concerted effort to kill you, the reason why cancer is running rampant, the reason why so many children are sick, how is it that you can almost pick just about any female, young female right now. You can go on Facebook and literally scroll through pages and it's RIP, mommy misses you. RIP, mommy misses you. Angel in heaven, angel in heaven. All these babies that just die. It's kind of crazy, isn't it? And yet there's no explanation for why all these women are just all not now miscarriages and deaths and all these things. It's because of what we're putting into ourselves. It's because of the food we eat, the water we drink. It's everything that we are putting there. We are allowing them to put into our body. And we don't question any of it. We don't question any of it. We don't say any of it because we're too busy dividing ourselves. We're too busy picking ourselves apart and picking each other apart and putting ourselves into little boxes and who belongs in this box with us and do they, instead of seeing what they're actually doing to us. Wells literally believed that exterminating 90% of the population was what we should be doing because it's what the Rockefellers wanted to do. It's what the IMF wanted to do. It's what all of these people wanted to do. It's what they've always wanted to do. It's because they want us to go back to like serfdom when, they could control. That's the reason why they say that we're going to eat bugs and that we're going to live in communes and we're not going to have any. This is literally on the UN's boards outside of the UN in New York. I mean, at the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen, they want to be the kings standing over top of us. And there's no more that this is prevalent than in the movie. I want you to watch the movie Robin Hood. See, they give you little tiny little bits and truths and things in movies sometimes that I don't even think they mean to. So in the movie Robin Hood with Kevin Costner, He returns home to find his land in shambles and finds one of the Sheriff of Nottingham's men running a small boy up a tree. And he begins to ask him, why are you doing this to this child? Oh, he poached a deer. And the young boy begins to tell him, well, you starve us. All you give us is bread and water. That's all they want. Because see, if you don't have the vitamins, you don't have the minerals that you're supposed to have every single day, if you're not putting in the nutrition into your body that you should be putting into your body correctly, it affects your mental capacity. It affects your health. It's the reason why you walk down the road and you see kids that look like tiny little beach balls running around everywhere. It's just the truth. I'm not making fun of children. It's the truth. It's the reason why. Our health, we are destroying our own DNA. We are destroying our own health and we're allowing them to do it. It's the reason why when I was a kid, I didn't give a shit what I was doing. I wanted to win. I didn't care if we was eating spaghetti. I was eating a whole damn plate. Now you try to challenge a kid to something. They're just like, I don't want to do it. They're lazy. They're lazy. Nobody's competitive anymore. Nobody wants it. Literally, the kid that's the most successful is the kid that literally will just try, whether they fail or not. They're the most successful. That is a sad bar. That is a very sad bar. But they've convinced everyone. Go to McDonald's. Be happy. Get a Happy Meal. Get a toy. Instead of going home and saying, no, I think I'm going to fix you a peanut butter sandwich today. Which is probably 10 times more healthier. But we don't do that. So H.G. Wells and these people, that's what they wanted. And they knew it. And they started with black people first. That's the reason why that's the reason why they fed them the chicken that they fed them. Because the chicken, they put so many chemicals into the chicken that the chicken basically became walking tumors. And they fed it to black people. They destroyed the black communities. They knew what they were doing when they did this. And then what they did was use black people like a virus. And then they put in housing laws and housing things that said that, well, wait a minute here. No, fair and equal housing. We've now destroyed these areas. Now let's take these people that we've destroyed and we've created ghettos and thugs and gangsters. And then let's move them over here because now all these people will idolize it. We're going to, pump up rap music and we're going to make it, really cool to be rap music and be thugs and gangsters and horrible people. And then that infests. It's the same reason why they don't let crazies call out of the asylum. Because they didn't want to, spread the crazy. It's the same thing. And it isn't denouncing black people in any way, shape, form, or another. It is what our politicians did to them. H.G. Wells, okay, the Rockefellers, the Kissingers, the IMF, those people, that's what their goal was. They needed to separate white and black people. White and black people were getting too cozy. And so they, especially after World War II. And that's the reason why we were where we were before Obama took over. Was there hatred and ignorance? There's always going to be hatred and ignorance. I'm so tired of this. I've seen it on all sides. One time I met a little Asian man that made fun of me 3 ways from Sunday, and I couldn't understand half of what he was saying. I just laughed at his ass the whole time, which probably pissed him off even more. And at the end of the day, it was just even more funnier to me. Ignorance will never end. We'll never get rid of ignorance. As long as somebody looks different, regardless of skin color, regardless if they got one eye that just twitches, or it doesn't matter. People are going to make fun of them and stare. It's just what it is. It's human nature. But we can choose to be better. We can choose not to follow these people. So that's my point on where we're at today and a little bit of a touch of how we got there. We have got to put the brakes on this shit. Because if we don't, our children have no future at all. None. They have no future. Because now they're using people from all around the globe as biological weapons to send into our country. And then if you say anything about it, you're a racist. You're a racist. How dare you say something about these people? Your ancestors worked really hard. Your family worked really hard and put in all this. But they're going to come here and get it for free because we're going to use them. That's the reason why they don't have to be tested. They don't have to be vetted at all. And if you say anything about it, you're a racist. How dare you? Whatever. Call me whatever the fuck you want. I'll tattoo it across my neck. Racist. Doesn't matter to me. I don't really give a shit. Because anybody who truly knows me and God, that's who I care about, knows that I am not an ignorant person. So don't care. Label me whatever you want to label me. I'll smile, laugh in your face, and just keep on saying what I say. Because truth can never be silenced. So now moving on. So the UN, along with the puppet Chomo King Biden, decided to basically threaten Russia. And let me make something really, really clear to everyone out there. Anybody who ever tries to start a war with Russia always loses. Okay? This is what it is. America is the aggressor. We are the bad guy. Okay? For years, we have allowed our country, we have allowed our politicians to allow black project, black book people, unelected officials to not only siphon our tax dollars into programs which put tyranny all over the world. We've allowed them to do that instead of, putting the kibosh on it, instead of electing people that say, no, we need term limits. No, you're not taking any money without congressional approval, without the American public. No. It's all black book. It's all need to know. Fuck you and your need to know. I do need to know. I need to know why you're over in Africa starting wars and killing off people that run countries. Yeah, I'd like to know that. Okay. Now, is Russia perfect? Nope. But then again, you know what? I look at it this way. If they legalize steroids for athletes to use in the NFL, I wouldn't be the only team going, no, we're not going to use steroids. Yeah, I can't blame Russia for doing some of the things they've done because we've done stupid shit to them. And proxy wars through, hackers and other countries and we keep doing this shit back and forth. And honestly and truthfully, we should be allies with Russia at the end of the day because they are a Christian nation. At least Putin believes in God. And so we should definitely align with them because at the end of the day, it's in our best interest to, align with the other big dog on the block. But see, that's what we used to value was strength. Now we don't anymore. Now we apparently value men who drink lattes and act like women. It drives me crazy, which is nothing to women, but, like when you're sobbing in your latte over, the scarf that you didn't get to buy at Macy's. Yeah, I seen that one day. I was pretty fucking appalled by it, to be honest. I wanted to slap the shit out of him and tell him to find his fucking balls. But then again, he probably would have told me they were in his wife's purse. So that is the world we live in. We're not allowed to have alpha males anymore. It's toxic. It's toxic to be a male and love to be a male. So, anyways, anybody who ever starts a fight with Russia always loses. Let me make that very clear. Always lose. And once again, NATO, the UN, our government, again, bait and switch. Our real enemy is China, but who are we going after? Russia. Again. Russia. It's because Russia is pulling away from the UN. Ladies and gentlemen, they are pulling away. They are pulling away from the globalist control. They are trying everything they can to get away from these people. Putin is working his ass off to get these people out of his country and get them away from his people. That's the reason why Russia has been the way Russia's been. Because of the globalists. Which is exactly what they're trying to do here in America. Which is the reason why we've done the stupid shit around the world that we've done. Which is the reason why America is the bully. America is the bad guy. Fauci proved that. If that isn't the nail in the coffin to show that America is truly the bad guy in the scenario, I don't know what to tell you. And I'm not talking about the American people. I'm talking about our government. I'm talking about the shadow government that runs our government, that sits back in the shadows and pulls the strings of Chomo Joe. That's who I'm talking about. And we have got to do something about it. And sitting around in our houses is not going to fix this shit. Sitting around talking to one another and arguing about whether or not, you're going to get the jab or not, or whether or not Trump is the man. Let's go Brandon bullshit. Who cares? All of that shit is a fucking drop in the bucket to what the real problem is. None of that shit even matters if we do not handle the motherfuckers pulling the strings in the background. If we don't handle that, it doesn't matter. They're just going to put in another puppet, which honestly and truthfully, I personally believe that they're either going to take Joe out in the way of JFK and blame it on patriots so that way they can come and take guns, or Kamala Harris is going to use racism and get him out that way, one of the two. But at the end of the day, we're going to end up with the first Indian president, because she's not black, she's Indian. And we're going to end up with the first Indian cunt president, to be honest. And she will be a terrible president. She will be the most authoritative president. It will be terrible. There will be blood in the streets of our country. And there will be anyways if we don't do something about it. But understand that, America, if you don't know the facts, you better go find them. Because is Russia, the best, it was once said, we are the best house in a terrible, we are the best house on the block in a terrible, terrible fucking neighborhood. And that's the truth. And Russia is not the best country. Could they be better? Yes. Are they necessarily our true enemy? No, they're not. No, they're not. They're not our true enemy. China is our true enemy. The shadow government that's running the world is our true enemy. And they own most of the militaries in the world. They definitely own the UN. They own us. And they use us. And they use our brothers and sisters and our sons and our daughters. And they send them overseas to go and die in pointless places where they're trying to steal all their resources. They use your sons, your daughters, your brothers, your sisters, your husbands, your wives to go to other countries and steal resources from other countries. What do you call that? That's a bully. That's a bully. Simple and plain. And we have become the bully. We need to take our country back. And it can only happen peacefully. And if you're out there and you think I'm crazy, then do this for me. On the 13th, go to resetwars.com. Resetwars.com. And I want you to go. And I want you to take those classes. And when you're done taking those classes, if you still feel the same way, I will delete my channel and never make another video. I promise you that. Because I'm going to tell you right now, you are hypnotized and you are blinded to the truth of what's really going on. And the truth of what the world really is. And that's okay, because I was too. And it took a lot of research. It took a lot of knocking in my head. Because I was going to vote for Hillary. I was going to vote for Hillary Clinton. Until I started getting knowledge. And found out who she really was. And found out all the terrible things she's really done. And then, they started going on about Epstein and all that. And led into all that. And at the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen, facts are facts. I didn't want to believe that there was a shadow government. I believed that 9/11 was set up. I absolutely believe that. I still do. Now I just believe for different reasons that it was. And I believe that the IMF and them did it because they knew the house of cards was falling and they had to have a way to shut down the investigations that were going on. And the easiest way to do it was through a terror attack. And that's what they do. They use fear to control us. They use fear to make us hate Russia when we should hate China. But if you hate China, they call it racism. Weird, huh? Weird how our true enemy is China, but they use fear to tell us we should hate Russia. It's because Russia wants away from the globalists. And Putin is working very hard to do that. Now, maybe he may not be the best person in the world. Maybe he has a terrible track record of human rights issues. That's all true. But at the end of the day, he very well may be trying to do what's right. He's calling out America, and for good reason. What we've done to our own people, the people that are being held on January 6th as terrorists, is terrible. Enough proof has come out that they're not. And unless you're an idiot hiding under a rock, you should already know that. So we need to band together. We need to set up marches across this country. We have got to take back our political class. Because if we don't, ladies and gentlemen, I say it all the time, it will be our children's blood that we have to watch wash down the street. It will be our blood that is spilled around the world while they try to put the cuffs on the entire world, while they try to put the entire world in a cage. Wake up, America. Let's honor that flag behind us. Let's honor what all of our brothers and sisters, mothers and fathers and sisters and brothers have died for. What have our brothers and sisters in the past died for if it's not for freedom, truth, and justice? We have got to get to the bottom of it. They're lying to us. They would not keep things in secret if they weren't. We've got to fight for truth and transparency. As always, America, I love you. Please take a knee, talk to God, turn the TV off, get with your family. It's Christmas. I've really been trying to kind of hold off on doing videos until after Christmas. But, you know, seeing the reports today and seeing the, you know, looming, they're not going to stop till they get us into a war. Because they know, ladies and gentlemen, they know that we don't care. We're not buying their lies. We're not buying their moronic variant. We're not buying their lies no more. The majority of us are waking up. But now we have to do something about it. Now we all have to embody our inner Martin Luther King. They have killed too many of our heroes. John McAfee, Martin Luther King, John F. Kennedy. How many more of these people are they going to kill? How many more of our heroes? How many more truth tellers are they going to kill? They're going after Alex Jones right now. And they will probably put him in jail in a rigged kangaroo court. They will probably put him in jail. And they will probably shut his entire network down. Somebody has to pick it up. Somebody has to step in their place, no matter what, no matter the consequences, no matter how many of us they kill. Somebody has to pick the baton up. We have to move the flag forward this time. They killed Martin Luther King. Nobody picked the flag up. They killed McAfee. Nobody picked the flag up. They killed JFK. Nobody picked the flag up. They killed Tupac. Nobody picked the flag up. Everybody got into their hip hop, shake my ass shit, you know, throwing out Tupac's name every time they could. Tupac loved his people. Tupac loved and wanted to better his communities. And he used music to do that. They didn't like that because that empowered black people to think for themselves and make decisions for themselves, not geared towards a political narrative. So they killed him. They killed him. And people like Jay-Z and Puff Daddy should have came out and said something about it, but they didn't. Instead, Jay-Z just took the fame that he could when the vacuum was there. And of course, so-called Rose is a legend. Jay-Z sucks. He's always sucked. His music's fucking terrible. He's terrible. He's supposed to be the replacement to Tupac. I'll take Method Man and Redman all day long over that. Yeah, Jay-Z's fucktard. And so, you know, ladies and gentlemen, you know, get with your families. Pray to God. Let us find peace. Let's get rid of these false idols, these people that want to lead us astray, and let us get back to what America truly stands for. Even if we don't agree with each other, even if we don't like what each other have to say, it's the liberty that binds us. It's the freedom that connects us. So thank you for watching. Like I always say, take a knee, talk to God, love your family, take care of your neighbors. I love you, America. Even if you hate me, I love you because of what you stand for, what you mean, and the promise that you give to all of us. And in this Christmas season, we should be spreading joy and love, not threatening other nations, not sitting back, letting, you know, global nuclear war loom. This is bullshit. We don't need this. We need peace. But we need every single American to get tired of this and stand up and say enough is enough. Lock arms and walk together. We need to walk together. We need to spend time together. We need to love each other better. Thank you, America. Have a good evening.